Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, everywhere. There's going to be a clip of this or a live version thereof. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. Hopefully, you all are doing great out there, and hopefully, we have some fun today because we're going to be talking about horror movies, sci-fi movies. There's a ton of new horror movie drops. We're going to be talking about comic books, comic book artwork, my artwork, all kinds of stuff that I've got working up, including all of the books that are on Amazon that have me and my artwork available right now. So, welcome to the booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host again here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. And again, hopefully you all are doing great out there. Today's title is Artwork because we're going to be talking about it. And we're going to be talking about fun stuff again, like I said. So on my Facebook post yesterday, I posted a question: why don't you buy artwork? And of course, you get your typical answers: I'm broke, I don't have the wall space. I do buy it, but I don't ever hang it because of, my walls and things like that. Um, and so, and I get all those reasons. This goes back to the support section as well. Whenever you support other people doing their Kickstarters and things of that nature, why don't they turn around and support you in return, knowing that you are an artist as well? No matter what kind of art it is, be it music, be it acting, be it, because actors, they have DVDs of the stuff that they've been in. They do, like James Stokes, he plays Jason Voorhees in a lot of um, fan films and things like that. And I've got stuff from him that we basically traded across the board. You know, I've traded a piece of artwork for him, and he got the hockey mask up there with his signature on it. So trading back and forth. So that's a support, and I share his stuff whenever it comes through. I like and follow his stuff, um, but I don't see the same return from a lot of people. You know, and it's real easy to like, share, and follow someone's stuff. Especially in the art world. And I try to do that with as many artists as I see pop up on my Facebook page, because that's basically all I follow is comic book artists and independent artists and things like that, musicians, and of course friends that I grew up with and made along the way. I try to like and follow their stuff and share their stuff as well. Taticus Johnson here in town has a tattoo studio. I share his stuff on a regular basis. And, you know, but on the same token, Taticus is one of the few that will actually share my stuff out there. Roy will share my stuff. Uh, David Casey will share my stuff. But when it comes to the other artists that I follow, that I like, share and follow with their stuff, not the same reciprocation. And so that makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. It's just like we're all trying to make it. We're all trying to, carve out our little niche in the world. And I nearly have 5,000 followers here on TikTok, which is great. I also have quite a few on Facebook. I don't know the exact number over there right off the top of my head, but I'm trying to reach that 5,000 plateau over here so that we can get to that 10,000K plateau. You know, because the more people that are seeing your stuff, hopefully the more people that'll pop on your lives and things of that nature. Because, the more followers that you have, the better reciprocated it is out there that your stuff is going to get seen and picked up by somebody else. Because I've got 3 portfolios worth of artwork down here. We did a huge sale, and I'm still holding on to them. You know, Now I am getting ready to drop some Jared Leto holding the golden AK on this, the Joker #1 piece right here, and for a commission. So that is fun and exciting. But don't forget to like, share, and follow when you do arrive. I do have my cat ball set up, and hopefully we get some activity from these guys up here. They've been a little quiet as of late. Maribel, I need you to do something up there. Dybbuk box, if you're going to go active, go ahead and set off that dice tube that cat ball is sitting on. And Diego, go ahead and do something up there. So we got 2 haunted dolls and a Dybbuk box up there on top of the refrigerator with cat balls on them. And then I've got a cat ball sitting right here, which is right here. And see, they go off with motion. So they physically have to be touched by something. All right. Oh, look, who finally shows up? Yes, you're right. The greatest team in the world, the Oklahoma City Sooners. The OU Sooners, your favorite team out there in the world, which we have proof of by all the pictures that have you in your OU gear and your OU flag on your wall, and then the little OU sticker that you had on your face for the game. All cool stuff there, Mr. Roy. Joe Miracle Whip Bradley Jr. spanking it in the corner with his Miracle Whip. Don't have too much fun, Roy, with all that. All right, so like I said, last show we talked about support. This time we're talking about artwork. And why don't you buy it? You know, like I said, I got that's the question I asked on my Facebook page. And the biggest answers I got was because I'm broke, because I don't have wall space. Yes, you're right. Oklahoma City Sooners, OU Sooners are the greatest college team out there, buddy. You're right. I agree with you 100%. And I like I said, I've got 3 portfolios worth of artwork sitting right here. My 9 by 12 portfolio, and then my 11 by 15, which is actually 11 or 13 by 19, I believe, is the actual portfolio size, but it's got 11 by 15s in it. And all that needs to go into somebody else's hands. You got an echo in your mic, bud. Really, 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 really. Why do I have an echo? Maybe that'll fix it. Does that fix it? I don't hear that because I'm listening to this microphone, not this microphone. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Let's do this little number. Does that fix the echo? Is the echo fixed, Mr. Roy Joe Miracle Whip Bradley Jr.? Well, did it? Did it fix it? Hmm? Hmm? Gale, please? Still echoing, huh? How about now? How about now? Do we have an echo now? How about now? Do we have an echo? Again, I can't hear what's happening over there just because it is on this microphone to hear. But it should be fixed now because there were some extra buttons apparently pushed on there for some reason that I don't know how it got pushed because I only pushed one button on there. But all right, cool. Awesome. We got that fixed. We got that taken care of. Now we don't have to listen to an echo of Roy out there. Echo, 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 echo. But that would be a cool sound effect, though. All right, so why don't you buy art? Like I said, I've got 3 portfolios of artwork that need to go into your hands. Your hands out there. Yes. Yes. And, I've got my new Dark series coming up right here. Boom, boom, boom. That's one. Here's number 2. These could be very well covers to my own comic book. I'm not sure yet. Of course, I got this commission that I'm still waiting for payment on, that I stopped working on until I do get payment on, because the jackass is giving me the runaround now, thinking I don't know when his business changed hands, because I only drive by it almost every day, especially going to the gym or taking the girlfriend to lunch and things of that nature. But this is a memorial piece that he wanted commissioned up for a friend of ours who passed away on December 31st, the very last day of December of 2025, right before the new year. And, so I'm not doing any more. It's still got background work to put into it. So I'm not doing any more work on it until I get some payment on it. This one, we do have an official date and time. Let me pull that piece of paper. All right, after many delays, we are now going to be able to do the actual book signing for my cover to Sour World's Calamides right here on the 29th. He does have the books in hand. I will be getting my comp books, and this book is on Amazon, so you can find it out there if you want to go purchase it. It is on Amazon right now, Sour World's Calamides, but you can get an autographed copy from me at cost, whatever the book costs, because I'm getting my comps for working on the cover, which should be about 15 books, I believe. So we'll have those for sale. I also have Ori, which is by Larry Donald, who will be his book is finally going live. I posted that to my story on, I believe, Instagram, and I believe on Facebook as well. Ori, you get to meet Ori for the first time. It is the story of Larry Donald in children's book form. It is a Christian literature book. Calamides is not, but this is Harrow from Calamides, or from the Sour Worlds, not Calamides, because I think he shows up in the second book. Actually, I'm going to be inking this one live at the show, at the signing. It's not a show; it's just a signing, a book signing. So I will be inking this one there, potentially with some other things to be inked as well. As we all know, I did this one a while back. I haven't added the colors to it yet because I'm working on pencils of other stuff. This is me as Wolverine right here. The mugs look alike right there. And I did it in Wolverine #1 style. I've got inks to lay down on the Batman Who Laughs. Right there. I've got inks and finishing pencils to add to the Harlequin Who Laughs. They call her the Harley Who Laughs. They don't use the Harlequin. But this is one of her masks, one of the two masks that she wears, apparently, in the book. She's a character I didn't know was around until just this year. And yes, she does have a split tongue, a little forked tongue, like a little snake. And then, of course, the horror series that we're working on, starting with Ghostface. A little bit of Freddy Krueger. And all of these are done in the same vein, in the same style, because I wanted a little bit different than my past ones. And this is, of course, Jason Voorhees. I did this one on Friday the 13th, just at the very end of Friday the 13th. So that one is a little bit looser than the other two. And don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. Pumpkinhead is going to be up next in the horror series, as well as Candyman. Two characters that I haven't drawn before. Ghostface is a character I have not drawn before. Actually, I drew him a long time ago, but it was just the face of Ghostface. That was all I ever did. And that was back in 2019. Was that right? during my 365 days of artwork, meaning I was doing a piece of artwork every day for the entire year. All right, so that's the pieces that I've got currently. That's the pieces that I've got drawn up currently. Now I've got a bunch of paintings ready to go as well, just like those dark series that you saw right there. I appreciate that, Roy, as well. Um, so in the painting realm of things, I think I've got 10 canvases that I've got penciled in that I've got to get painted up. So that is, I think at last count I had 20 plus pieces of artwork to work on right now, including the 18 by 24 piece, which I'm getting ready to get some new poses on. Thank you for the gifts out there. That 8 cents goes back into the printing of all of my stuff. But the 18 by 24 piece I've got to redo completely because he didn't like the poses, so I'm getting new poses, which I haven't taken a shot of those yet, and redoing the 18 by 24 piece. So I think I've got 21 pieces or 22 with the addition of uh, Jason Voorhees there. So I think I've got 22 pieces of artwork that I'm currently working on right now. My commission list is dwindling. I've got 2 commissions left to do. That one needs to be handed off, but I haven't been able to get hold of the owner. He's already paid for it. Just got to get it into his hands. And then, of course, that other commission piece of the Stitch Witch is not getting worked on again until I get some payment. But again, he's given me the runaround like I don't know when the business changed hands. He works for Aaron Rentals, and they changed hands probably in December, maybe earlier than that, into what's called Max. And he's playing it off like, well, we just changed and just got bought and all this good stuff. And we're 3 months into this piece of artwork, and he hasn't paid a single cent on it yet. So, that's why I've stopped on it. I'm not doing any more work to it until I get a payment. So, on last episode, we talked about AI shit as well. Um, and this is a prime example of why not to use AI. Carmen Electra, everybody knows who Carmen Electra is. One of Roy's favorites. He's got a big poster of her above his bed, um, in a scantily clad bikini, as most men did back in the day. Just not today, of course. Like Roy does right now. And she's been doing these photo shoots on Instagram, possibly even Facebook. Well, Facebook for the most part, but they go to Instagram as well. And this newest set, before the one where she's sitting on a table with a green jacket on, I don't know if it's a St. Patty's Day set that she's doing or whatever, but this last couple of sets that she's put out is has her in green, which St. Patty's Day. When is St. Patrick's Day? Is that today? Yesterday was Austin 316. If you didn't know, you're supposed to leave out some drink and cookies for Steve Austin yesterday. If you didn't know, and so today St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. Somebody tell me if today is St. Patrick's Day or not. But anyway, Carmen Electra's been doing these photo shoots, and this one just shows why you shouldn't use AI. Period. Again, like I said, if your hands can do this, more power to you, because mine cannot. Um, you know, it's a little weird, a little awkward, and you know, it's just kind of weird on the hands because they're turned around backwards. I guess I don't know. I guess you could do that, maybe. A little weird. It just looks weird on these handages right here, right there on the handages. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you can tell there's a lot of AI stuff going on in that picture. And it's just like, well, more power to you, but AI shouldn't be used in certain aspects of things. But neither here nor there. But I know a lot of people are getting called out about, you know, AI and stuff like that. A lot of like MegaCon, they are cracking down big time, and that's a huge comic book convention. They are cracking down on AI vendors in a big way. They are canceling their table, even if they've got it paid for. Um, Even if they show up at the show and then they find out, hey, you've got AI artwork in your booth, you're gone. You're packing your shit up and you're getting out the door right now. Um, and a lot of conventions are doing that right now. So it's kudos to them because AI shouldn't be used in when it comes to sitting around natural artists that or digital artists, which is the difference. There's a big difference between a digital artist and an AI artist because your digital artist is still using a tablet to draw it out with, whereas your AI artist is just doing key prompts on their computer, and there's no place for it in the art world, you know, and music either. So you've got your music AI, which sucks because I've listened to quite a bit of it, and it's just horrible. Um, there is just a weird feeling when it's being played to it, and it's not appeasing or appealing at all. And there was this one heavy metal band or semi heavy metal band that I heard they were okay, and then I went to them and I saw that they had like 4 albums out in just 2026. Well, we're just 3 months into 2026, and you got 4 albums out. Then I started reading their synopsis, AI driven. It's like, oh, okay, this is why you got 4 albums out. Okay. And then as you do start listening to more of the stuff, it's just kind of crappy. Um, and so it's just like, they're gone. Peace out. Bye. And there's just no heart and soul in it, like a lot of people talk about. There's no emotion to it, there's no anything to it. I mean, at least a rave or an emo, band, My Chemical Romance, or those type things. That all has emotion and range to it, whereas AI music does not. And then you look at AI artwork, and it just doesn't work because there's extra fingers, there's morphing into something that you can really tell shouldn't be there, or this, that, and the other. There's a lot wrong. Plus, it's also stealing from other artworks. Plus, like everybody wants to talk about, it's stealing from the environment. Just running the AI computers and stuff like that. It's using a ton of resources from the earth, which everybody's using tons of resources from the earth. So what difference does that make? The earth is the earth. It's going to be here until it's not. You know, I will be gone before the earth is. You know, so I'm not worried about the resources running out. So because we've got untapped resources all over the place, and now we're going to start mining on the moon. I'm kidding. That's a joke. We're not mining on the moon that I know of yet. So, um, but lots of stuff, lots of cool stuff is working, is happening. Now, the biggest cool stuff is you guys need to get artwork. That's what you guys need. You guys need artwork in your hands, and you can get it from here, from TikTok, right there. And of course, send me a DM, of course. But no, Facebook, you guys as well, up here. So lots of stuff is happening. There's a lot of cool stuff dropping. Um, Kelly's books, thoughts on thoughts on thoughts, and then thoughts on thoughts on thoughts from the Upside Down. So she's got 2 books out on on Amazon, and we're in talks of working together for some illustrations for her next book, which is basically, I think she said, is already written. So we will look for that information to fall and see if we can get some stuff worked out on that end. So I've got two books right now on Amazon that I've done the artwork for. So you can find those books out there right now. Sour Worlds by James Bishop is that one. The Calamedes right now. I did the artwork cover on the artwork for this one. And again, book signing on the 29th in Ozark at the community center from 2 to 4 p.m. Let's see here. And then Ori by Larry Donald. Oops, that's going to set that off. By Larry Donald um, is available now on Amazon as well. Dun, dun, dun. And so that's two books I've got on Amazon right now that are available to you guys. Let's see here. Hopefully, I do get my comp books here whenever the book signing happens on the 29th, and I will have them in house. I'm supposed to be getting comp books from Larry as well for those. I'm waiting for my comp books from um, Patrick Hickey Jr. from Legacy Comics. So that's the other comic book that I've got out with Legacy Comics. That's my second book, but I did the entire book this time, and it's only 8 pages, consecutive artwork, plus the cover, two different covers for the book. There's 3 total covers, I believe, right now for Condry, Man's Best Friend on Legacy Comics. And so I will have those in hand, and hopefully they're all autographed like I requested from him. So we will see. And then, I'm in the process of resorting some comic books to get rid of lots of runs of comic books as well. So looking forward to that with my collection, to start paring it down to stuff that I don't read, to stuff that I don't hold on to, all of that goody good stuff. Um, I'm probably going to start getting rid of a bunch of the DC stuff that I do not enjoy, such as Superman, um, those type things. Just because I'm not a Superman fan, and this collection that I picked up several years back now um, had a bunch of world's finest Superman action comics, those type things. I'm not into that. I'm not into the action comics and stuff. Superman was never my one of my favorites. Just like Aquaman, could care less about Aquaman. A lot of the early DC characters that a lot of people love, I can't stand. The Flash, Aquaman, Superman. Batman is one of my favorites because he's just a dude. You know, yeah, he's a rich dude, but um, he's just a normal dude who works out and has money to get toys with and all that good stuff. So, you know, so he's always getting injured in and they show the reality of the injuries and things like that. Now, in the beginning, it was more campy than it is now because today it's more gritty and dark, especially if you get into the absolute Batman, which apparently is taking off like wildfire. Um, so you're getting a lot of absolute creatures in it. It's like the absolute Joker, the absolute Harley Quinn, the absolute, Bane, absolute Poison Ivy, so on and so forth along the lines. So if you're not into that book and you haven't read that book, go check it out. Buying number one, the first print is rather expensive. It's already in the $1,000 range for that book, and it's just basically came out this year, I believe, or at the end of last year. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but it's already at an astronomical price when it comes to that. But like I was talking about at the beginning of the show, we do talk about horror movies and things like that. There's a lot of horror movies coming out. I can't give you names of them right off the top of my head. Um, but Tubi has a lot of, I can't really say top rated horror movies, but they've got a lot of horror movies on there. And there's some campy ones, there's some fun ones, there's some comedic ones. There's some decent ones out there as well. I've just been flipping through, putting them on in the background, and just letting them play. And so I get a lot of Um, Off and on ones, that are hit or miss. But for the most part, the ones that I watch, I enjoy because it's hard to find a good horror movie that's going to creep you out 100% because I haven't found one yet. If you have one that has creeped you out and you would never watch again, let me know because I'm still trying to find one that disturbs me and I haven't done it yet. And I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 this year and I have not found one that has creeped me out so much that I'm like I will never watch that ever again. And that's just me. And I know there's a lot of other horror fanatics out there that are the same way. And so it's just like if you do have a recommendation, please share it with me because I want to see this movie that has creeped you out, um, that makes you uncomfortable. A lot of people thought Match was very uncomfortable to watch. It was just another creature feature to me. Yeah, it was an interesting storyline, but all in all, just a creature feature that was just you know. And so it didn't freak me out. Period. Didn't have any jump scares or anything like that. It was just all creature feature, and that was it. Um, Disturbing moments potentially if you think about what the mother was doing to the son, those type things in that movie. But other than that, eh, you see worse than that on regular television most of the time. Watch an episode of SVU or something like that. Um, but they say Dolly is pretty good. The franchise is going to be a big hit with Dolly. Um, let's see what else is out there coming up. I wish I had a list in front of me right now, but I don't. All of my lists are over here. Let me see what we got on our list of potential watchabilities. Jugface, The Wailing, Antlers, Satanic Hispanics. That one sounds good. Um, Nothing really good on that list. That is Kelly. Oh, let's see here. That's something different. That's something different. Okay. Oh, that's something different. I know I've got more lists running around here somewhere of because I'm always writing down movies that someone recommends or talks about. That's an old order. Oh, Blood Vessels, Bliss, Jacob's Wife, Lost Voyage of the Demeter. Most people have seen that one though already, and it wasn't that great of a movie. Basically, the voyage of Dracula to the other side of the world from Transylvania. Caveat, The Medium, Awesome. Awesome is supposed to be a twisted one. Waste Not is one. Trauma is supposedly one that has traumatized several people. An American Crime, Takeout, Irreversible, Low Lifes, The Bay. The Bay wasn't that great, to be honest. Megan is missing. That's a super slow burn. Apparently, the good stuff doesn't happen until like 20 minutes till the end of the movie, which that doesn't make for a great movie in my opinion. Um, and yes, it's based off of true events, and so, um, but for it to take that long to get to the good stuff, eh, I think I stopped watching it actually. Of course, everybody loves the Human Centipede 1 and 2. MD Pope and Atrox are supposedly two twisted ones out there as well. And I'm not going to go through a whole lot more of these because I've got a whole list of potential horror movies to watch. Martyrs, Feed on YouTube, The Changeling, Godless. I mean, Primate is supposedly pretty twisted with the monkey, the man in the monkey suit, the eye. I mean, the list just goes on and on of stuff that, yeah, just one little thing after another. Thoughts on my brain there. Again, business opportunity right there. So there's always thoughts on thoughts on thoughts. Thanks, Kelly. But no, really, there's tons of horror movies out there that are potential to watch. I mean, this is one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10 post-it notes worth of notes on horror movies to watch, and each line is pretty much filled out when it comes to it on here. And so, with that many horror movies to watch, you could watch a bunch of them, a couple a day or whatever, and still not get through the entire list. So, I'm looking for stuff that has disturbed you so much that you would never watch it again. Again, I have not found a movie like that, and I've seen a lot of twisted movies. The girlfriend has shown me quite a few twisted movies as well, and it's like, okay, we can watch that again. Let's find the unrated version of that, you know. And there are some that have been banned, from being shown, just because that's how disturbing it was to some people. But again, I haven't found one yet that I'm like, no, I will never watch that ever again. That's so messed up, so twisted. You know, even a bunch of the old original stuff from back in the day, I will still watch. Um, some of the black and whites are some of the better movies out there as well. I mean, even like Eraserhead is still a great movie. Um, let's see what else out there. Tinglers with Vincent Price, great movie. I wish more theaters would do what they did whenever that movie came out, because they hooked up these little vibration pieces underneath the theater seats at the time. And whenever the creature got loose in the movie, it supposedly went through, and the vibrator started vibrating certain seats in a sequence, like it was going underneath the seats of people, and it freaked people out completely. They need to do more stuff like that, because that would be more enjoyable at a movie theater than just sitting there watching the movie and the jump scares happen and you watch everybody else scream and jump around. Um, so that was a very cool gimmick that they used back in the day. And I can't remember when Tinglers actually came out with Vincent Price, but a very old classic movie. Let's look that up real fast. My water. Mm, that came out in 1959, so they were ahead of their time when it came to uh, doing gimmicks. And it's about a state of extreme fear. Vincent Price is a pathologist that discovers that when in a state of extreme fear, an organism grows along a person's spine, enlarging up the neck. Let me see what it does for me right here. Where did your synopsis go? Where did your synopsis go? Uh, yeah, as they put it here, an obsessed pathologist discovers and captures a parasitic creature that grows when fear grips its hosts. So there you go. That one was ahead of its time. The sci-fi horror movie that it was, and they didn't warn people about the seats either. They just let it happen, and that would be exciting in today's times to have that type of stuff get pulled off with different horror movies or sci-fi movies that you go to. That what up, Dennis? Welcome to the show. And for Tinglers to do that back in 1959 when the movie came out, to have those vibration spots underneath specific seats in the movie theater and freak people out thinking that the creature was coming through the theater, they need to do that more today because that would be fun and cool. Yeah, it would make a lot of people pee their pants, but whatever. Um, where it depends to the movie theaters, I guess, is all I can tell you right there. Um, so that's the stuff that they need to do more of when it comes to movies of today. They need to think more outside the box than just, oh, well, we're just raking in money because people are coming, buying their stuff, buying their movie tickets, watching our movie. They're buying up all of the popcorn and juju beads and things like that we sell at an astronomical price um, at the counter. So, you just spent, if you go to a regular time, you just dropped already, just say there's two of you, you already dropped $40 on your tickets, roughly. And then you get in there and you spend another $60 on your concession foods, you know, especially if you didn't plan ahead and get your food in, the normal way, uh, like everybody does. I mean, hell, I've seen videos of people pulling out full rotisserie chickens out of their bags. And it's just like, good God, they don't sell that at the movie theater. At least think like what's at the movie theater, you know? And even buying drinks there is ridiculous. For a large drink, I think it's like $5 or $6 or something like that. And it's just like, good God, even for a bottle of water of Dasani, I think is like $4. It's just like, good Lord. But people like their movie theater experiences and love to go to the theaters and watch their movies. That's why I try to hit the matinees, or we try to hit the matinees, because you know it's cheaper. And then if you do happen to buy some popcorn or something like that, it's not too horribly expensive at that point in time because you've offset the matinee price with your food. So And we don't always buy food whenever we get into the movie theater either. So, it's just hit or miss depending on what we want to do. Sometimes we're going to a lunch or dinner afterwards, so we won't eat anything there. Um, we'll watch the movie and then we'll go on. Movie food is highway robbery, has been that way for absolutely. And at least back in the day, it wasn't horribly expensive. Even going to the drive in wasn't horribly expensive. But nowadays, it's just like everything that you're buying once you get inside the theater is more than the tickets that you're buying. So that's why it's sometimes just cheaper to rent it on, your streaming device and watch it at home. Yeah, you're not watching it on the 250-inch big screen or whatever size those screens are, but at least you're saving a little bit of money because you're only paying one price. You're not buying two tickets or three tickets or a family of tickets of like 10, depending on how big your family is. And then you're watching it on your big screen at home. And then, oh, you want popcorn? Okay, throw it in the microwave. Done. You know, and I bought this whole bag for $5. This whole box of popcorn for $5. And now with one or two bags, I just did the whole popcorn at the theater thing. Yeah, it doesn't have all that butter slopped on it, but which makes it the greatest flavor ever. You know, yeah, yeah, food at sports events as well. Yeah, absolutely astronomical prices, and and then everything's going paperless. You can't at sporting events. You can only use card or um, some kind of cash app of some sort, like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, anything like that. But they don't take cash at sporting events anymore. And so ran into that when we were at the Dallas Stadium whenever we went to the game a few years ago and watched them beat Cincinnati Bungles. Yes, yes, your phone has apps, all kinds of apps. I mean, I've got the AMC app, which we don't have AMC here in town anymore. There's still some around us, but just not here in Fort Smith anymore. The Malco has its own app. Most of your movies that have apps as well, and then of course, whenever you get to the stadiums, they have their own apps as well that you can use to pay through. Since again, they don't take cash payments anymore, paper money. Um, but yeah, no, it's the prices of food and drink at sporting events or movies is just ridiculous. And that's why some people save up before they go to these events just because, well, I know it's going to be just like Renaissance fairs and things like that, the food and the state fairs and stuff like that as well. Now you can find some reasonable places that aren't charging you too much, but like when we went to the fair that they had going on, rodeo or whatever it was that we went to, we got a nacho that was just a regular size nacho that I think we paid like 12 something for. And it's just like very little meat. It was a barbecue nacho, but it had very little meat on it. It had very little cheese on it. Um, wasn't that great, period. But you, when I'm spending $12 on something, it better be like this when it comes to a plate of nachos. Instead of this little bitty carton thing that's like this big, literally, and it's this tall, at tops. And again, very little meat, very little barbecue sauce, all that good stuff on your barbecue nachos. Um, you need to rethink your strategy. And yeah, I think we ended up spending, I think at one spot I know we spent $27 on two drinks and a cup of uh, Mexican corn. And the cup was about yay tall, normal size little little cup, and all that was $27 for those three items from that one. And then we spent another 20 something, probably another 27, 30 bucks on the nacho plates that we got, and it wasn't worth it. Period. I in fact think we went out to eat after we left the venue that we were at, and I think it was a rodeo that was going on. Yeah, it was the rodeo that was here in Fort Smith. So old Fort days, and it was the food wasn't worth it inside the arena, yeah, or inside the venue itself, and that happens a lot especially a lot of the different venue setups that people like steampunk that's coming up. I believe in May here in Van Buren, the steampunk festival. The food isn't that great, uh, but it's way overpriced. And just like the drinks as you're walking around, yeah, you can again you can find some that are selling waters that are relatively cheap, but for the most part, if you can avoid getting food and drink at those places, I would do it. I would just you know bring my own water bottle in or whatever, and just look at the artisans and buy their goods up because that would be cool. But yeah, so with all that being said, artwork, buy artwork. Doesn't matter. Put it on your ceiling. I'm going to be doing a mural up here. I say a mural. I'm just going to be putting all kinds of different things up there. I'm going to be putting one of my characters up there from my comic book. Is going to be directly above my head, I believe. I've debated painting the ceiling just because um, just because I don't know how long this room is going to be here. Because if I change it up and do what I really want to do, put a 40-foot Connex over here, um, then everything will change. It won't have a sloped roof on it. It won't have all that good stuff. I'll have room to actually bring in my 8 foot Boba Fett painting that I'm working on. Excuse me, that I haven't worked on in several years. I think the last time I was working on it was right before the divorce in 22. So that's 4 years ago. And it's sitting out in a workout room uh, outside. And it needs to be brought in and worked on. But I don't have the height availability to do that because the whole stretched canvas that I did was 8 foot tall by 4 foot 6 or 4 foot 8 inches wide. So it's the height that I have the issue with because I don't have 8 foot tall ceilings. So I can't bring it inside to work on it. So one of these days I'll get back to getting it finished and all that good stuff and go from there. And so, but it's going to be pretty cool, I think. Uh, Acrylic on canvas, 8 foot tall, massive piece. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to getting it finished is the big key. And yeah, it's just one of those things. You have all this artwork that you're doing, and you just don't have all the space that you need to do it with. And that's a common problem, especially whenever you stack stuff up on the along the wall and stuff like that. Then you start, oh well, I just penciled this piece in and all that good stuff. If you were here with us earlier, you saw all the different pieces. I think we're working on 22 different pieces of artwork right now in house that needs to be finished. Starting another commission right now. Got another commission ready to get started as well, and then that stitch piece, like I said, that I haven't gotten payment on yet in nearly 3 months. As of what? Today's the 17th. As of Friday, will be 3 complete months of no payment on that piece. And so it's not getting worked on anymore. And until he decides he wants to start doing some payments. And if not, I'll make his life a living hell a little bit by putting up little posters on their wall, on their window, talking about what a stand up guy this guy is. I don't want to go that far, but it's I know right where he works. He drives a very ugly car, to say the least. But uh, but yeah, no, I won't go that far. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Ugh. Pettiness. Hey, you commissioned me. You agreed to a price, and you haven't paid on it yet. So you know, bad reviews. Bad reviews. And I don't think the company would appreciate that very much that he works for. You know, all that goody good stuff. So I'm getting ready to lay down again some Jared Leto Joker on this Joker number 1. I've got the God of War piece that I'm working on, a big 18 by 24 massive piece. And then I've got my regular pieces that I'm working on that need to be inked in and then colored up. And then I got a bunch of paintings to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've got about 8 to 9 paintings. Well, I've got 2 over there in that corner that I started a long time ago. That was the front and back side of the Batmobile, the 1966 version Batmobile with Adam West and Burt Ward, and they had the bad brakes. Burt Ward always talked about how he had to white knuckle the steering or the dashboard because they didn't know if the brakes were going to actually work or not, and so he was always white knuckling the dashboard whenever they were out actually driving the vehicle, and so for certain shots, and so that was quite humorous. And of course, Adam West is no longer with us. Uh, just looking back there at the autographed Adam West stuff that I have on the wall, right back behind me. So, how are you all doing out there? Are you all doing okay? Are you doing good? Is life treating you well? Hopefully it is. Hopefully you're doing good. Don't forget to tell people that you love them out there because tomorrow is not promised to us. Um, had a lot of friends pass away here recently, and that's why I say that, because tomorrow is not promised. Go ahead and tell people that you love them out there. Just like I love you guys being here, I appreciate it. You guys make the show, and you guys bring up good topics sometimes. Other times, people just want to say stuff. Um, just like that Taylor person that was on the last episode, and who turned out to be, I guess, fake or not real or whatever. Um, as she, wanted to see the artwork, I sent her a message on the artwork, and then next thing I know, everything is ghosted. So it's just like, okay, whatever. It's not the first time it's happened. Someone requests, to see artwork, and you send it over, and then next thing you know, they are uh, gone, 100%. But we talked to this person, Taylor, for a good 30 minutes on the show last time, and seemed like a legit person, holding a good conversation about what she did for a living, how she felt like she was being followed. So we, kept her on the phone by watching the show and talking to her. And, we, then next thing I know, totally gone. History. Bye bye. Doesn't exist anymore. So it's just like, whatever. It's whatever it is. I mean, it is what it is. If you want to be that way, hey, you're the one that asked me for the information. It wasn't like I was sliding into your DM, you know? And I hate that because I do friend requests and stuff like that where people follow me and I follow them back, and then immediately, boom, they're in my inbox, and it's just like, gone, bye, see ya. I don't need that in my life because you're not doing anything positive right there or trying to. So now, if you're coming into my DM to get artwork, that's cool. Hit me up for artwork. Commissions, all that good stuff. They're always open. So, but I appreciate each and everybody being here, checking out the channel, checking out the banter of horror movies, sci-fi movies, all that good stuff. But we're gonna kill it for today. I got some animals that are moving around, and as I like to say, as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.